Mr. King Cobra here has settled in a little bit and doesn't seem to be too hyper. Seems to be a little relaxed. Trying to figure out what the story is, I think. These are what I consider to be among the most intelligent snakes in existence. They learn, they understand. One of the most remarkable stories and things that I saw was at the snake farm in Bangkok, Thailand, where the Red Cross personnel milk and keep lots and lots of venomous snakes and milk them for serum production. There was a large Quonset hut-like enclosure that they kept. There's probably 20 or 30 king cobras, all of gigantic proportions in there. But there was one that was just unbelievably huge, and it seemed to be hanging its head out of this apartment complex they made for them, made of corrugated steel and bricks. It was drooling and it looked ill. So I went and I got the head keeper, and he goes, "Oh, okay, let's take a look and see." So he unlocks the door to this large Quonset hut, and he goes inside, and then he stands after taking a few steps, turns around and looks at me and motions me to come with him. Okay, so I've never been in a small, it wasn't a small enclosure, but I've never been in an enclosure with that many king cobras before. And we go walking through the middle of it towards this corrugated steel and brick hut. And I see this massive body sticking out of one side, and he goes, "Well, which one was it?" And meanwhile, there's all sorts of king cobras sort of picking their heads up and looking at me and looking at him. Then I pointed to the big body, and he reaches out and grabs it, and this big head comes out of it. And I mean, if this was, under 15 feet, I would be, I couldn't believe that it was under 15 feet, but its exact length, I don't know. But this was a massive, huge king cobra. Its head at least twice as big as this guy's. And the king spread his hood and looked around and gave a few tongue flicks, and then all of a sudden the hood went away, and the snake started like puppy dogging very nicely, like it was a big rat snake up his arm, and the snake was totally docile, and you could have knocked me over with a feather. And I had my camera with me, but I was too dumbfounded to take any sort of pictures. And I'm just standing a foot or two away from this huge king cobra that could, easily kill a room full of men. And he's playing puppy dog with this guy. And he goes, "Oh, he's okay. He and I know each other for a long, long time." So we looked around, and we left the enclosure, and then after about a half an hour I recovered my senses and went on to look at some things. So that's my my most impressive king cobra story. King cobras are known for their intelligence, and the keeper said that some of the kings that have been around for a while will actually protect themselves and put themselves in between a newer king cobra and the keeper that takes care of them. And you know, there's a whole bunch of stories like that. These are very, very intelligent snakes. Certainly the one of the most impressive animals. Also one of the most dangerous because of the sheer quantity of venom that they can inject with one bite. He was telling me one keeper at that Reptile Institute was bit by one of these king cobras, and fortunately, you know, they have anti-serum on hand because that's essentially where they make it and store the stockpiles. And it took over a liter of anti-venom. That's 100 vials of Thai king cobra. That's a monospecific anti-venom just made for king cobras to counteract the bite of this king cobra. You know, you don't like to inject any horse serum into your bloodstream because of the side effects, but a whole freaking liter, oh my God. The guy must have been feeding on hay and whinnying for months after that. All jokes aside, this is truly a very special snake, and they're you know, not so easy to come by. This guy's in very, very good shape, except for the little nose rub, which they almost always have from traveling in the mesh bags that they do to the U.S., so customs people can see in the bag safely. And he's destined, well, originally was destined for a zoo, but the zoo may not want him now, so I'll have to find another home for him, because he's about 9 feet long, and my room is only, I think, like 16 feet long. That's not a very good equation as far as I'm concerned, but I thought I'd take a few minutes and talk to you about this very special animal. And you know, I'm not trying to stress him out. I don't want him to be hyper. I don't want him to do funny things for the camera. You know, just respecting this animal for being very special like he is, and allowing you folks to get literally 6 inches nose to nose to this guy is probably good enough. And with that, I'll retreat and let Mr. King just relax. Hey! Well, Mr. King was okay for that whole thing except for my retreat. And you know, it's a good thing this camera is sort of like a Timex and keeps on ticking when you throw it across the room like that to get the hell out of his way. So much for being quiet and relaxed. Oh, okay. Well, you want to put on a show for everybody now that you're a bit hyper? It just goes to show you how quickly these animals' moods can change, and how quick they can be a very different customer. He's submarining there, so I'm getting ready to slide the door really shut here. Oop. He's retreating now.